Yeah, guys, we sorry. This is negative energy, boy. Ooh, it's always something that's trying to just challenging. Woosa, 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 woosa. Let me ring gay. So, hey everybody, what's up? So we want to welcome you to our show, Chit Chat Chew show that airs every Monday. Our intentions was to start a little bit earlier, but electronics are great, but they can be a pain in the ass too. So, but we're going to move forward. I'm going to move forward. So we want to welcome you. I'm one of the co-hosts, Jade.
And I'm your other co-host, Uno.
So, we typically air 6 to 8, but we're rearranging, but nevertheless, you're going to enjoy the show anyway. So we want to, we have two great topics. And so you can take that over there if you want. I don't know. Go ahead. We have two great topics. The first one is going to be National Breastfeeding Awareness Month. And also, we're doing this by my phone. The intention was to do the tablet. Well, the real intention was to do the laptop, which I left. But I had my tablet, and now my tablet is acting stupid. So we're doing it off the phone. But anywho, again, the first discussion and topic is going to be, again, National Breastfeeding Awareness Month. And then the second topic is going to be
National Immunization Awareness Month.
Mm-hmm.
That will be in the second hour, I guess. Second time frame.
I know, right?
Because we won't be on this Facebook Live long, so we want to, compact it, so we're going to keep it a little short today. So apologies to us. We're working in a public environment, so yeah.
Yeah, that's what happens
So
when you're mobile.
Yeah, when you're mobile. So give them a little tidbit on National Breastfeeding.
So, as a woman and as a mom, I didn't get the opportunity to breastfeed. That was a goal. I didn't want to put my kids on, Similac or, any of that stuff then. But due to my physical health, I was not capable of breastfeeding my kids. So I'm really curious to find out. It's just really, really interesting because, they say it's very healthy and nutritional to breastfeed your kids. And I believe a great part of that. Also, there's some controversy as far as where should moms breastfeed? Should they be out in the public? Or should they have a designated area to breastfeed? So I'd be really curious about what you guys have to say on that. And if you have awesome experience breastfeeding, let us know. And what was the age that you breastfed your child up unto? So I want to read a little bit about
breastfeeding.
So World Breastfeeding Week was from August 1st through August the 7th. And they had a proclamation. What happened to that? I was going to read that.
You talking about that first article?
Yes, they had a proclamation back in August of 2011. So it says, I'm going to read it. On August 6, 2011, the USBC officially declared that August is National Breastfeeding Month. I'm going to try to read this proclamation here. Forgive me. National Breastfeeding Month proclamation. On August 6, 2011, the USBC officially declared that August is National Breastfeeding Month at a community baby shower event hosted by Howard University Hospital and the DC Breastfeeding Coalition. In addition to the National Breastfeeding Month proclamation, the day's events included participation in the Big Latch On and a visit from the Latch On America cross-country bus tour. The text of the proclamation is below. Whereas the mission of the United States Breastfeeding Committee, USBC, is to improve the nation's health by working collectively to protect, promote, and support breastfeeding. And whereas USBC envisions breastfeeding as the norm for infant and young child feeding throughout the United States. And whereas breast milk is the preferred and most appropriate source of nutrition for infants, adapting over time to meet the changing needs of the growing infant. And whereas breastfeeding is a proven primary prevention strategy, protecting both infants and mothers from a host of chronic and acute diseases and conditions, and building a foundation for lifelong health and wellness. And whereas the act of breastfeeding whereas breastfeeding provides a safe, reliable. Oh, okay. Where did I stop at? Adapting over time. Okay, whereas breastfeeding is a proven primary prevention strategy, protecting both infant and mothers from a host of chronic, I read that, and acute diseases and conditions, and building a foundation for lifelong health and wellness. And whereas the act of breastfeeding builds a strong emotional connection between the mother and infant, a bond which lasts a lifetime. And whereas breastfeeding provides a safe, reliable, and renewable food source, especially critical during national disaster and emergency situations. And whereas employers that provide workplace lactation support experience an impressive return on investment, including lower health care costs, absenteeism, that's what it is, absenteeism, and turnover rates, and improve morale, job satisfaction, and productivity. Whereas all major medical authorities recommend that mothers breastfeed exclusively for 6 months and continue breastfeeding for at least the first year of a child's life. Yet breastfeeding rates continue to fall short of the nation's healthy people's objectives. And whereas the U.S. Surgeon General, Regina Benjamin, has issued the Surgeon General call to action to support breastfeeding, calling on healthcare providers, employers, insurances, policymakers, researchers, and the community at large to support mothers in reaching their personal breastfeeding goals. And therefore, on this 6th day of August 2011, the United States Breastfeeding Committee does hereby proclaim August as National Breastfeeding Month in furtherance of USBC's role to advance breastfeeding on our nation's agenda through collaboration, leadership, and advocacy, so that all U.S. families will have the opportunity to breastfeed. And that's coming from Robin W. Stanton, MARDLD, those titles behind the name, Chair, United States Breastfeeding Committee. So with saying that, the proclamation, again, I'm just going to slide it over because we're sharing data on one phone, unfortunately, but it's all good.
We don't have the laptop today, so.
And the tablet's acting crazy again.
Yeah, so we're improvising.
So with that, that's a lot of,
Teamwork.
exactly, that's a lot of information that I did not know. And it's not ignorance, it's just a lot of information that I did not know, that breastfeeding was that exclusive. Or maybe I'm using the incorrect word, but
I see they have events. They have USBC events. They have carnival or vlog carnival. They have and plus other ways to connect with people and participate. You know what I'm saying? They have news and action alerts and stuff like that. So I'm just looking at this stuff they got. It's pretty cool stuff they have. I mean,
and so right
regarding breastfeeding awareness.
So anybody that's out there, again, that has had past or present current experience with breastfeeding, how old did you breastfeed your child? Or if you have a newborn or a small infant, how old will you breastfeed up until? I remember seeing a Facebook, or I should say a YouTube preferably, where a mother was breastfeeding their child, and I think that child may have been 2 or 3, and she still was breastfeeding her child. So I don't have a yay or a nay on it per se, I think for me personally, this is just for me, and again, woman, hear me roar. I'm definitely, if it works for you and you want to be able to breastfeed your child as long as you can, that's great. I know for me, the teeth are in, and I would probably think that would hurt me, but then again, everyone has different tolerance level. I know as a child, I was told by my mom that she breastfed me probably up to a year. I'm thinking definitely not over a year. And they also say when women tend to breastfeed their children, the bond is closer between the mother and the child. I probably will say yes and no on that. Probably depends.
Yeah.
Again, I didn't breastfeed my children, but at the time that they were young and growing up, they were like stuck on me. I mean, stuck. So I think that you can, definitely if you didn't breastfeed, that your children can be, but I think that there probably is a certain type of bond when that
I have to agree.
Small child is infant and it is attached
to the mother in a physical way.
Right.
Not just physical too, but also in I say also a spiritual way and a psychological way. So yeah, I can see that energy, both energies.
Right.
The baby's gonna be attracted and it's gonna be latched on to the mother. So that makes sense.
Yeah. The child is getting all the nutrients and things of that nature, providing that mom does not, drink that, she's eating right, she's dieting right, not drinking any, alcohol and smoking and things like that. But it probably might be some people out here that have drunk, I don't know, or smoked cigarettes. I mean, I'm just
pros
really
and cons with breastfeeding.
Definitely. And so as this article says, the pros and cons of breastfeeding, it says, which this article was this year, June of this year, the decision to breastfeed or not to breastfeed is a personal one. Like we said, there are so many wonderful reasons to breastfeed your baby, but there are a few, according to this article very well, a few disadvantages to nursing too. By understanding the pros and cons of breastfeeding, it can help you decide what is right for you and your family. So I'm going to read the advantages, and Uno can read the disadvantages.
Yeah.
Cool with that?
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Okay. Advantages. Here are the pros. Breastfeeding is natural. Breastfeeding is the most natural way to feed your baby. Your body was created as the ideal way to supply your child with the perfect source of nutrition. Definitely get that. Breast milk is the healthiest food for your child. Breastfeeding provides your baby with a variety of health and developmental benefits. The natural ingredients found in breast milk help protect your baby from illness and disease during infancy and continue to provide your child with better health as he or she grows. And so the natural ingredients found in breast milk.
Look at you.
Yes, honey. Breast milk is a liquid source of food made by a mother's breast for her children.
Suckle.
Oh, they be tearing it up from what I see.
That's some good ass milk.
That'd be some good natural breast milk, honey. They be getting down. Poor women, I like, not looking at them in no kind of crazy way, but I'd be like, ooh, go ahead. I could only imagine what my mom went through, because I really wanted to breastfeed my kids, but it's all good. It's created in the response to pregnancy and the suckling of a baby at the breast. Breast milk provides a child with complete nutrition, as well as protection against infections, diseases, and illnesses. Breastfeeding benefits mother and children in a variety of ways, and many of the health benefits continue long after breastfeeding has ended. So these benefits, these breastfeeding benefits.
I'm looking at your ass.
I think it's very interesting in no type of crazy ass way, because I know sometimes people get kind of turned on with that, and that's disgusting.
Yeah. No, I was saying that because every time you see something that's highlighted, you go down.
I am clicking on that because I want to learn even now, so that I can educate other people if they happen to, if we happen to get into that conversation.
I'm just.
I know.
day she learned something. Ooh, what is
Yeah.
that? Let me click.
Well, okay, so it doesn't really go back into that.
It goes directly back to the pros and cons.
Right. So we're gonna
keep reading that, I guess.
So did I do, okay, breastfeeding, we did that? No. Breastfeeding is good for your health. Breastfeeding provides health benefits for moms too. Women who breastfeed tend to recover from childbirth faster than women who choose not to nurse their babies.
Didn't know that.
Didn't know that. Breastfeeding may reduce your risk of ovarian and breast cancer, and it could decrease your chances of developing osteoporosis, and obesity as you age. Interesting. Breast milk tastes good to your child. I bet it does. Breast milk is sweet and creamy. It has a better flavor than formula. I'm sure it does, because a lot of those formulas, I don't know.
I think they add chemicals.
They add
a lot of additives.
A lot of additives. And you see these kids like develop it at such faster.
Yeah, at an unusual age.
Right. Breast milk is easy for your newborn to digest.
Absolutely true.
I can definitely agree with that.
Because have you noticed? I mean, I know you noticed too, but like when you see mothers giving their child not the natural milk from the mother, but actual milk from a store. And then sometimes the baby might get sick. Yeah. I mean, so yeah, it would be easier for the baby to digest compared to actually getting milk out the store and then it don't digest well and then they spit it up.
Right. So I get that.
Right.
Breast milk is easy for your newborn to digest. Your body makes breast milk specifically for your baby. It is easier to digest than formula and may help to prevent gas and colic. Definitely, because babies can definitely get that gas and that colic, and it is not a pretty thing from experience.
What's colic? I don't know what that is. I'm curious to know what that is.
Okay, I'm having a slow moment. Okay, I'm going to get back with you on that one.
I want to know what that is. We're going to look up that word before we're done.
A breastfed baby's bowel movements are not as smelly, and they're not as irritating to a baby's skin.
Makes sense.
Breastfed babies don't usually get diarrhea or constipation.
They get it from that regular milk.
And they have diaper rash less often than formula fed infants.
I believe that.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Breastfeeding is convenient. Your breasts are the perfect way to supply your babies with the optimal nutrition, getting all them good nutrients to the brain instead of that Similac and that Enfamil and that other stuff that they have, especially now.
Oh yeah, a lot of stuff come from animals. You have to realize
a lot of stuff come from animals.
That's why they get affected by it, because it's not that the sort of milk from an animal is only made for that particular animal. That cow can only drink that milk. So how nature's set up, that is for that animal. But for the human, the baby has to have a mother that's human, her milk.
Right.
Everything is systematic. Everything flows naturally. But if you go against that, there's negative results that can come about. So you got to be mindful of that, ladies.
Definitely.
Okay.
Breastfeeding is convenient. Your breasts are the perfect way to supply your baby with optimal nutrition at the perfect temperature. You won't have to worry about preparing and heating formulas, and there won't be any bottles to clean after feeding, because yes, cleaning those bottles constantly and cleaning them good is very, very important. I know it might be minor or small to some, but if you do not keep those bottles clean, and I prefer glass over plastic bottles, it's horrible. And if you do not clean them well and you still have like some baby formula, it's a stench, and it's also bad for your child. And you have to be so careful about even the nipples that you put on the bottle, because sometimes it's a real small hole in there, and they may not be able to, when they're sucking from the nipple on that bottle, and they're just getting air in their bodies because they can't get the milk flow going. You got to be careful about how you, cut the hole in the nipple, because it will just pour all out. So they have.
You don't want to, choke the baby.
Right. They have all kinds of. stuff like that. If you want to breastfeed, even if you're like breastfeeding on the go, so to speak, where you can pump the milk out of your breast and you can put it in the bottle, and you can have like the right bottle for that and the right nipple so that they can get the correct flow going through, and just all that good stuff. And also it's economical. Breastfeeding can save you thousands of dollars. Yes, honey, because if somebody would have told me, well, of course, again, I couldn't because I got really, really sick. I mean, I was really, really bad off with both my kids, unfortunately. But it's all good, though. Everybody can't or everybody doesn't want to breastfeed. But it's a smarter choice. So it can save you thousands of dollars. If you nurse your baby, you will not need to buy formulas, bottles, and supplies. Breastfeeding also keeps your child healthier, so it can lower your medical costs as your child grows.
Makes sense.
It's comforting. A sick child can be more easily comforted by breastfeeding. Nighttime feedings are faster and easier when you breastfeed. You don't have to make those warm bottles, as a lot of mothers have, in the middle of the night and do. Breastfeeding is relaxing. While you're breastfeeding, your body releases a hormone called
Oxytocin.
Oxytocin.
Sound like it, yeah.
Oxytocin is a feel-good hormone that promotes relaxation. Cool. Breastfeeding also provides you with time each day to take a break, sit down with your feet up, and spend quality time with your baby. Breastfeeding delays the return of your period. It prevents the period from returning for 6 months or even longer. Woo! Menstruation returns approximately 1 month after you stop breastfeeding. However, we're all grown and we're all women and we're all adults, so mine didn't come back. That is the one thing that took the longest, so I didn't have to worry about that, even though I didn't breastfeed. But I had tubalization, so maybe that might have been a factor. I don't know. I'm not a medical doctor. Me having tubalization, maybe that after having my second child might have been a factor. I don't know. Exclusive breastfeeding can prevent another pregnancy for up to 6 months. That's interesting. And you can pump. Pumping your breast milk can give you some freedom. It can make it easier for you to spend time from your baby, allow you to continue to provide breast milk for your baby if you return to work, and give your partner the ability to participate in feedings. So that was some of the advantages, which we will definitely post up all of the links that Uno has provided, and the ones that I can't read of, we're going to post those as well. So
we'll provide enough information for you guys to look at it and research and, get in the know and be informed about breastfeeding and in the next hour, National Immunization. So, the disadvantages of breastfeeding, okay, so the cons. You will have less freedom. When you breastfeed, you are always on call. You and your breast need to be available for every feeding, day and night. It can be exhausting, especially during the first few months when you will be breastfeeding your baby every 2 to 3 hours around the clock. Breastfeeding can be painful. You may have to deal with some uncomfortable or even painful common problems of breastfeeding, such as mastitis. I wonder what that is. Breast engorgement, which you can click on the links I see, plugged milk ducts, and sore nipples. I'm just curious, what is mastitis? Let me see what that is. New word. Learn something every day. Mastitis is often called a breast infection. It's a swelling, inflammation of the breast alone or along with an infection. Mastitis is a common problem on breastfeeding. Have you ever had that problem? Mastitis, like inflammation of the breast?
I had them to be swollen.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't breastfeed, milk still was coming out. But they were definitely sore. I don't recall having any type of infection, but they were definitely swollen and sore.
Gotcha.
And leaking.
Okay, let me get my thoughts together here. Okay, all right. Mastitis is a common problem with breastfeeding and affects up to 20% of nursing mothers. It's more likely to happen within the first 6 weeks after the birth of your baby, but it can appear at any time while you're breastfeeding. So, of course, signs and symptoms, you said one. You said swelling of the breast. So, pain.
Swelling of the breast, swelling of the nipples.
Nipple, right. So, pain, a swollen, tender, warm area on the breast. Redness in the location of the swelling. Fever, chills, flu-like symptoms, fatigue, body aches, and nausea. Now, this is the cause of mastitis, okay? You can get mastitis from an infection. Bacteria or other microorganisms can enter your body from cracked nipples or any opening in your skin. Once bacteria finds its way into your breast, it can cause an infection. Another way you can get mastitis is by not removing the breast milk from your breast regularly and efficiently. Breast milk may not drain from your breast well when your baby is not latching on properly, your baby is not breastfeeding often enough, your child is not breastfeeding long enough at each feeding, your baby is sick, you have an overabundant breast milk supply, you're sick, you're wearing your child too quickly. Well, weaning, you're weaning your child too quickly. Now here's something else here. Breast engorgement and plugged milk ducts are two common breastfeeding concerns that can lead to mastitis. Mastitis can also be caused by a tight bra. Y'all hear that? And the underwire.
Trying to fit them things in when you know you didn't have a child and you trying to still fit them in that little small bra. You know
that's too much on your breast.
Right, because that is not a cute look, and if you don't wear the proper bra, you know you just leaking in your clothes and it's gonna come through your shirt.
But that causes an infection though. Why when they do that? So a tight bra,
that's not cute.
An underwire bra, or a nursing bra that does not fit properly. You just said that that doesn't fit properly. So that's just that's some tidbit on mastitis. So let's get back to the cons, okay?
Not a good look at all.
It sure ain't.
Honey.
All right. Your partner can't breastfeed. Wait a minute now. It's having a moment. Come on now. Come on now.
Yeah, and you know, I had my kids semi-young, so it was a lot of things I had to educate myself on. Especially, I didn't wear a tight bra, and I don't really care for the underwire, but no one really told me that, one, my breast was going to leak, even though I did not breastfeed. So I'm putting on a bra and trying to find like these little, what do you call it, just something to put over the breast, the nipple, or whatever, but it just wasn't helping because the milk was still coming through. So you learn from experience. Yeah. That's why I said this is interesting for me, because if anyone ever comes across to me and they're asking me opinions or advice on something, I want to be able to give good education to them, assist them, because I don't want my sister or my women to be uneducated and not know. So, yeah.
Your partner can't breastfeed. Your partner might want to feed the baby and may feel left out of the breastfeeding relationship.
No, that's only going to be another female. Cause
right.
I'm sorry, can't no man
breastfeed. Come
can't
on
breastfeed.
Now.
Let's just stop. You just don't have. You're a man with male parts and the woman.
So do your job as a male counterpart. You
be supportive. Help.
But you can't breastfeed.
No, the man can't breastfeed.
This obviously must be a lesbian relationship.
Right, when they say that partner in breastfeeding.
Right. No hey.
There's no hey. Because you have plenty of lesbian couples that have...
yeah, we're LGBTQI. We're part of the family, so...
So they have, they have lesbian couples that, one of the mates has the child. But there again... lady, stud, whatever, just be supportive, because yes, let that experience be with the mom who birthed the child. Just be there for her emotionally and supportive. So yeah,
it can be stressful if you are very modest. You may feel uncomfortable and embarrassed about breastfeeding around others or in public. If you find it difficult to go out with your baby, you might end up staying home most of the time and feeling trapped or lonely. Yeah, everybody's not going to receive breastfeeding well in public because everybody has an opinion on exposing yourself in the open where people can see because they feel it's wrong or they feel it's too much or they might have children around. You got to be respectful. Like, everybody has a different feeling on women breastfeeding in public, but that's a whole nother conversation. I mean, what you think about that whole breastfeeding in public?
I mean,
I think that's why a lot of times women do go out because they are alone or trapped.
I don't have a problem with women breastfeeding. I don't. My issue probably would come if they don't cover up. Like if they just full blown,
like they just open
out, just exposed, shirt up,
don't care,
breast out, baby just kind of hanging on the breast,
hanging baby
fed.
Don't care.
Of course, the baby don't care. The baby wants its nutrients and it's tasting good.
Right.
I'm just saying. I think that probably would be the only thing that would be an issue for me. Just cover up. Just cover up. Because please go sit out somewhere. Feed your child. Up. Just cover up a little bit.
Just be a little respectful.
I think that works for me. If you just cover up a little bit. But definitely I don't have a problem with the breastfeeding.
I know it's natural, but I'm just saying, like you said, I mean, it's a proper etiquette. Just cover up. That's the same thing if a man walk around butt naked, exposing himself running around. I feel like that's disrespectful because not everybody want to see that, and then people want to have their opinions about it. So he need to cover up and stop running around and walking around naked. I'm saying in public. So it's the same thing if it was reversed. So, But yeah, I have to agree with you on that.
Right, and I understand that, there are people that feel good about their bodies and all of that. That's wonderful. Great. No kudos to you. Just, like you said, some proper etiquette is cool.
Right.
So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You have to make the right lifestyle choices. You have to think about your diet and lifestyle choices when you breastfeed. Your baby may have a reaction to different foods in your diet. Pay attention, ladies. Mm-hmm. So you may have to stop eating dairy products, of course. Why would you?
And I was talking about that. Watch your diet because that's very important.
Absolutely. So the baby get the right nutrients.
Make sure you eat plenty of good fruits and veggies.
Yes, please eat fruits and veggies.
Less on that caffeine, less on that alcohol.
Water's fine.
Water's cool.
Because that flushes out all the...
Or good, juice that's not too high in sugar because I believe that can be effective with the child as well.
Get some kind of natural juice or something that has a lot less chemicals in it. You want something that's like maybe, go to a farmer's market and have some pretty healthy juices.
Or if you grow on your own or if you make your own juices, that's good too. Because, you are what you
You are what you eat.
Right.
That's true.
It definitely does affect the child.
Absolutely. And it affects the mind too, so please keep that in mind.
It affects the mind, absolutely.
People don't think food affects your mental. Yes, it does.
It does. Definitely.
Let's see. You may have to stop eating dairy products or other items that you enjoy. Then there are obvious things that you should avoid, like you just said, that caffeine. You just said alcohol. And nicotine, cigarettes. You just said cigarettes, right? Okay. Which can be harmful to your baby. Stress and other factors can also affect breastfeeding and even decrease your breast milk supply. Be mindful, y'all. Ladies, in particular. I'm thinking, that's pretty much it. So.
Okay.
But that's the pros and cons. So she read the pros on breastfeeding, and I read the cons on breastfeeding. So. Hope you guys getting a little educated about breastfeeding awareness.
I mean, I definitely am, even though I'm not ever having a baby in life again. But I definitely, it's informative, and again, spreading knowledge and information and resources is very important because it could save that woman who wants to have a baby and they may not know.
Yeah, true.
How to care for the child, carrying the child, because even when you carry the child, you have to be so careful about what you eat because when you're feeding yourself, you're feeding that child as well.
True.
So I know, people used to, people say, oh, well, I've smoked even if I smoked with all my babies. Well, I can't tell you what to do, but I would suggest don't, because even if you don't see it in the short term, you can see it in the long term, what's going to happen. It can affect the child.
That's true.
Even if it's not, even if it's not at a young age, as they're developing, as their body and their brains are developing, there's a strong possibility that you will see that, and then you'll start questioning, like, why is my child have a developmental delay, or or have a mental disability, or special need, or whatever the case may be. Behavior, I mean, how we eat while carrying a child is very, very, very important. And I encourage anyone that has a child or thinking about having a child, just take care of yourself, take care of your body.
Absolutely.
So I don't have more. I don't have much more, because I know we're limited on time. But if you have something else for
Yeah, I was just looking at this. I was looking at something on like parenting, like so if you're a new mom, they have some superfoods that you can eat. They could, not only help the mother, but possibly can help the baby as well. So I'm gonna read a few here. I see they have salmon. That's a perfect food. They say I'm reading this from WebMD. Okay, so it's actually loaded with DHA, but that's crucial to the development of your baby's nervous system. Of course, all breast milk contains DHA, which is like it's like a fat, but it's a natural fat. It's a different stuff. Salmon, actually, the levels are higher in the milk of women who got more DHA from their diets. What else they have here? They have legumes, iron-rich beans, particularly dark-colored ones like black beans and kidney beans, are a great breastfeeding food, especially for vegetarians. Of course, they budget-friendly, source of high-quality, non-animal protein. Very true. Blueberries. Breastfeeding moms should be sure to get 2 or more servings of fruit or juice each day. You just talked about juices, Jade. Blueberries are an excellent choice to help you meet your needs. These satisfying and yummy berries are filled with good for your vitamins and minerals, and they give you a healthy dose of carbohydrates to keep your energy levels high. They have brown rice. Of course, you should cut back, but when you're trying to get some carbs, I guess that would be a suggested food. So when you in the parenting stage, you can lose baby weight. Of course, you don't want to lose too much, because then that means you won't be able to produce enough milk, and it'll leave you sluggish. So mix healthy whole grain carbs like brown rice into your diet to keep your energy levels up. Foods like brown rice provide your body the calories it needs to make the best quality milk for your baby. Oranges. We got oranges here. So portable and nutritious. Oranges are a great food to boost energy. Oranges and other citrus fruits are excellent breastfeeding foods, since nursing moms need more vitamin C than pregnant women. So yeah, and you get your vitamin C, and you can opt for calcium fortified varieties to get even more out of your drink. And let's see, here they got whole wheat bread. That's crucial to a baby's development in the early stages of pregnancy, but its importance doesn't end there. Folic acid is an important nutrition in your breast milk that your baby needs for good health, and it's crucial you eat enough for your own well-being too. Enriched whole grain breads and pastas are fortified with it, and also give you a healthy dose of fiber and iron. Leafy greens, you just talked about vegetables. Leafy green veggies like spinach, Swiss chard, and broccoli are filled with vitamin A, which is good for you and your baby. The benefits don't stop there. They're a good non-dairy source of calcium and contain vitamin C and iron. Green veggies are also filled with heart-healthy antioxidants and are low in calories. Whole grain cereal. Many cold cereals are fortified with essential vitamins and nutrients to help you meet your daily needs. Whip up a healthy hot breakfast by stirring blueberries and skim milk into a delicious serving of oatmeal. And water, which I just said water. You gotta flush your body out. So breastfeeding moms are especially at risk for energy drain and dehydration. To keep your energy levels and milk production up, make sure you stay well hydrated. You can vary your options and meet some of your fluid requirements by drinking juice and milk, but be careful when it comes to caffeinated drinks. You just spoke on that, Jay, about watching your caffeine intake.
Whether it's caffeine coffee
and
tea, because there are tea that has caffeine in it.
Yes, it does.
So
yep.
definitely.
Not all tea is good now.
Just
watch your
precaution.
Intake. Caution, absolutely. So yeah, they named it coffee or tea. Have no more than 2 or 3 cups a day, or switch to decaf. So caffeine enters your breast milk and can cause your baby to become irritable and sleep poorly. So that's just a few.
Awesome. I also wanted to bring up, and now my tablet decides it wants to work, but it's okay.
Ooh,
I definitely
we're done now.
I definitely wanted to. Right, we're almost through it. So I definitely wanted to bring awareness also that Black women breastfeed too. There's some we need to probably do it more, but we definitely do it. Black mothers breastfeed. So there's an organization I just want to quickly put out there. Their mailing address is in Detroit, Michigan, and it's called blackmothersbreastfeeding.org. Again, that's blackmothersbreastfeeding.org. I'm just going to read the about, because you can go on your own free time and follow up. So they are a nonprofit. Their goal is Black Mothers Breastfeeding, which stands for BMBFA. Goal is to have a national impact on the reduction of racial disparities in breastfeeding success for Black families. Their mission is to reduce racial inequalities in breastfeeding support for Black families. Their value proposition is to optimize the first food experience for Black families through direct service, education, and advocacy. Their vision is to envision positive cultural sentiments about breastfeeding, multi-generational breastfeeding support, and encouragement within Black families and neighborhoods. Their aim is to build foundational networks of support and strengthen systems to overcome historical, societal, and social barriers to breastfeeding success. Objectives is to provide education, valuable resource, and ongoing support to Black families and public and private agencies that service these families. So I just want to, shout out to them as well, because Black women, again, all women, if possible, should do it.
Absolutely.
But again, I understand that it is your choice if you don't want to do it, but it's a smarter way.
Smarter and more, more sufficient and efficient.
And I just want to say that because we have to get into our other topic, which is the vaccine.
You finally working over there?
Can't never get it out.
National Immunization.
Immunization.
Awareness.
I'm having a tongue-tied moment.
That's a long-ass word because I get tongue-tied with it too, so I feel where you're coming from.
And they do have another article at your leisure to read, blackwomendoBreastfeed.org. And it has tons and loads of information. And so please, I encourage you to read it. And I hope that you enjoy it. So I don't have anything else to say about it, about breastfeeding.
Me either. So.
And so we're going to go into our other half of the show. and hope that you enjoy that as well. And thank you, Big Brother Joshua
Thank you,
Content,
Joshua.
for watching. Appreciate you
Love you,
as
bro.
always. Warm hugs, warm snuggly hugs from Jade.
Oh, God. With yourself.
I know. I think I got it now. I think I can share mine. My tablet wants to be real special. Right.
No,
When we're
right.
almost going through and ending soon, now all of a sudden it wants to have a mind to want to work. I tell you.
Bless his heart.
Bless the heart. So, I know. Num your hoe can kill for real. I'm trying to tell y'all people. You can laugh if you want.
But it's real.
But it's real. So, now we're getting into our other half of the show, recognizing National Immunization Awareness Month, NIAM. It's an annual observance held in August to highlight the importance of vaccination for people of all ages. NIAM was established to encourage people of all ages to make sure they are up to date on vaccines recommended for them. Communities have continued to use the month each year to raise awareness about the important role vaccines play in preventing serious, sometimes deadly diseases, which I have kind of different views on it, but I'm reading it because everybody doesn't have my thought. So it's a personal choice, but I want to put it out here, like seriously. NIAM is sponsored by the National Public Health Information Coalition. For more information on the observance, you can visit the website when we put it up. They have communication tools where it helps you communicate about vaccines from various audiences. People of all ages can protect their health with timely vaccination. Babies and young children, it said July through August 6th for babies and young children to get vaccinated. Pregnant women between August 7th and 13th, adults August 14th through the 20th, preteens and teens August 21st through the 27th, and back to school July and August. Again, there's a toolkit for school-age children to help to remind parents to get their children vaccinated before the school year starts. The toolkit includes sample key messages, media materials, social media messages, and web links and resources. So if that's something that you're interested in, this will be posted up. The CDC has resources for parents, educational resources, multimedia products, school starts soon, college students, adults, older adults, adults with chronic conditions, pregnant women. They would like for them to, it says, educate pregnant women about getting vaccinated to protect newborns from diseases like whooping cough, the flu. Remind everyone that the next flu season is only a few months away. So that's coming from the cdc.gov. There was so much more, but it will be posted. I personally, while you're getting ready to read something,
Yes, I am.
Yes, I've been a product of course, being vaccinated. When I was growing up, it scared me to death. It looked like a big-ass gun getting shot into my arm. I felt like I was actually getting shot. I was terrified. And whatever that shot was, it lasted like forever.
As long as that needle is, yeah, I suppose
Right.
so.
And then, of course, when my kids were growing up, I did. Back then, I did make sure that they were vaccinated and all that because I really wasn't familiar the way I'm more, I guess, conscious of it now. And to be perfectly honest, with me having diabetes, they strongly recommend that you take all these shots or get vaccinated. And honestly, I took one and went through hell. I just got to be honest. Like, I came in with not being swole on the neck, and after I took it, my neck was swole, and it was just the weirdest feeling that I had. I had lumps in my neck. And when I went back to the doctors to do a follow-up and I told her, she said, oh, no, that didn't come for that. And I'm like, well, where the hell did it come from? Because I didn't have it when I came in before you shot me up.
It's the shot.
So it's the
She's not
medicine.
gonna tell you.
in there. And of course, because I have to be honest, I'm not just too trustworthy of doctors or nurses like that.
vaccines are
And I'm
good.
not saying that all doctors and all nurses are bad. I'm not saying that before someone hears this. There are good doctors and there are bad doctors, as well as there are good nurses and bad nurses.
Yep.
Okay, so good staff, bad staff. So I
Yeah.
just happen to have a bad staff because she didn't listen. And so when I do go to the doctors, do you want that? Do you want,
They
the
just
other
wanna,
shot? No, I don't want the other shot because I know it's all about money.
you're right. They just want to pump you up, shut up, so I can,
Right.
push my paperwork in and give
There
them
are
money.
side effects. There are people that get vaccinated where I've heard stories. I mean,
Too many stories.
I've heard more bad stories than good stories.
Yep.
Just my personal experience. Everybody is different. And there's been cases where people have died.
Yep.
So,
Because they put multiple, they actually put multiple, not only chemicals, but multiple elements, bad elements in those vaccines that cause people to die and get sicker. Or, how about people with autism? Like, there's people that like, especially young adults, like, well, young kids, actually, young kids who never had autism ever in their life, and they actually end up with autism because of the vaccines that they took from the doctor. And parents actually had to stop that from happening again, so they took them off the vaccines because it did something to the children. And that's still going on to this day. It's even on a mainstream level now. It's not, you don't really hear too much about it, but you might hear here and there, like Tony Braxton's seed, Robert De Niro seed. Like, there's quite a few celebrities that also has children who actually develop autism for vaccines. But as far as the regular people from day to day, you hear all these stories of vaccines, high risk of autism and high risk of getting ill, and it's just a lot, man. It's a lot. It's a lot in those vaccines, so you have to be very careful. You don't know what you're putting in your body. Actually, they can tell you anything. But it's your due diligence, to find things out, and if you don't, at least just be a little aware of what you put in your body, because you just never know what could happen. I know there was it was a coworker that I used to work with at my job, and he said, because like you just mentioned the flu, right? So of course they had the vaccines for a certain season where everybody go get a vaccine for flu to fight off the flu. It's supposed to do that, quote unquote, but it's actually reversed. So when they actually get injected with the vaccine, so with this guy, he told me he got a vaccine for the flu, whatever, from getting sick, whatever. So he actually wound up not only getting the flu, but he had what's it called, pneumonia on top of that. He said he felt like he was dying. He actually could have died from that. Having the flu and pneumonia, pneumonia is nothing to play with. Because you can actually walk around with pneumonia and don't even know it.
so true. I mean, that's very true. I know everyone makes their own choices, and that's perfectly fine. I just say whatever choice you make, ask lots of questions, get different opinions, do your research on it. Don't let these medical people just kind of, go for what they say firsthand. Like, just because they say the sky is blue, so to speak, and you feel that, and that the sky is green.
Don't mean it is blue.
Just make sure you do your research. Ask.
Yep.
Check out these doctors, because a lot of them don't care. And like you said, there's so many studies and stuff that's coming up where people are dying, or if they're not dying, they are like
completely
ill, like you said, with the whole autism, or
That's at a high rate now.
right.
Autism.
Or if they went in with a good physical condition, but now they coming out, they could be crippled,
Yeah.
wheelchair bound. You just
know.
never know. Or you going in and you don't have a mental disorder, now you coming out with 4, 5, 6 mental disorders, and then it's just a lot. And I'm just asking, please do your research, ask questions,
Can you do your research? Ask questions?
get different opinions. Just don't settle for one.
Because look, it's your life at the end of the day. And if you have seeds, it's your child or children at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
You got to do whatever you need to do to protect your children, because everybody in this world is meant no good. Some people just not meant no good. So, yeah, you have to be careful, man.
And I really believe, before you read, I really believe that there are alternatives.
Yes, it is.
Things
Absolutely.
that are non-GMO.
We're going to talk about that too.
That are clean, that are good for you. I mean, everything doesn't have to be medications. The world has really gotten to a point where they're so dependent that some people come off like they're really scared, like if they get off, like that's it.
Right.
Because we've been so dependent on meds for mental or physical. So just be aware.
So this society is so damn programmed. It's like, you have to follow a certain way that everyone else is doing. You're like a sheep, so you gotta fall in line and do what's told. And this is what works. This is what we say works. So you need to do that. And if you challenge the status quo, it's a big deal. So yeah, I mean, like you say, so you're absolutely right, Jade. I mean, yeah, you got to be careful, be mindful, do due diligence, protect yourself and people you care about. I mean, because like I said, people mean no good.
Right.
So. Speaking of that, since we discussed side effects in autism, I wanted to read this article that's coming from healthychildren.org. It's called Vaccines and Side Effects, the Facts, okay? DTP and SIDs. That's the case with the myth linking the diphtheria tetanus pertussis, which is DTP, vaccine with sudden infant death syndrome, which is SID. The first dose of the vaccine is administered when a baby is 2 months old, which coincides with the time of life when the risk of SIDs is highest. You would expect some SID deaths to occur in this age group where the children receive the immunization. So, in fact, a number of studies dating back to the 1980s looked at the incidence of SID deaths occurring at the time of the DTP vaccine. So the researchers concluded that the number of deaths was at a level about equal to the number that would be expected to take place by chance. So that's just a little bit on that. And they have something that's linked to autism. So they have measles, mumps, rubella vaccine, and autism. Autism is made up of many chronic development disorders and is often first diagnosed in toddlers. The number of cases of autism is reportedly on the rise, and some critics insist that the measles, mumps, rubella, or MMR vaccine is to blame. Others say that the increase can be attributed to better reporting of autism cases by doctors. In 2001 and then again in 2004, the Institute of Medicine Immunization Safety Review Committee, an independent body of experts who have no conflict of interest with pharmaceutical companies or organizations that make vaccine recommendations, studied a possible MMR autism link and found no evidence supporting such a connection. I'm sure it's connected though. Risk of thimerosal. So since the 30s, some vaccines have included a mercury-containing preservative called thimerosal. It has been used as an additive to vaccines because of its ability to prevent contamination by bacteria or fungi. Critics have argued that thimerosal-containing vaccines are the cause of a number of neurologic and development disorders, ranging from autism to attention deficit, hyperactivity disorder, and speech and language delays, which is very true. The IOM Safety Committee studied this issue and concluded that the evidence favors rejection of a causal relationship between thimerosal-containing vaccines and autism. Then they have multiple immunizations and immune disorders. Because some immunizations are given together, parents are often concerned that multiple vaccines might trigger health problems, which it does, associated with the immune system. That's that. And then you have hepatitis B vaccines and multiple sclerosis. Although critics have claimed that hepatitis B immunizations can cause or trigger a relapse of multiple sclerosis, the IOM Safety Committee could find no scientific support for this theory. I think, they always keep saying they find no evidence to conclude, they find no evidence in the science that they conducted to prove that nothing has a relationship from their theories, which, you don't really need theories because you see it from time to time of proof out there, of cases of people, taking vaccines and what the negative effects have done to people, not just people, but younger people too. So I think they just do that to, make it seem like it's not as bad, or they try to cover up, make it seem like there's no relationship there, but we all know it is. Hear these stories time and time again. So, yeah. But that's just a few, side effects from vaccines. So.
I just, when you were reading, you were talking about, this stuff, people, has not just started now. This stuff has been going back in the 30s, as Uno has read, probably back a little further than that. We've seen different things, like everything you see on YouTube or everything you may see on social media is not lies. There are some facts to things. We need to stop being so scared.
And closed-minded.
And, that's the one. Well, scared too, but definitely closed-minded. Do some research on some things. Now, like you said, autism's on the rise in the black community.
Yes,
Autism mental disorder is skyrocketing.
Shit is ridiculous, man.
Alzheimer's, dementia is rising. Even it's beginning to rise in the younger generations. There are some studies where it's rising in the younger generation. It's not just the older people, obesity, diabetes, blood pressure, the hypertension, cholesterol. Me and Uno, we be talking, and it's not putting anybody down, but when I see people on the bus, on the train, or walking or whatever, there are some large people out here, and it's no shade. Even myself, I'm working on, losing weight and toning, getting myself toned more. I understand that it's a daily struggle, so please don't think that I don't get it.
And it's
because
not simple. We know it's not
and
simple.
it's not. And for real, what about anorexia? Same thing. People are struggling. Seriously, people are struggling. And
it's a mind thing, though.
It's a mind thing.
It's all a mind thing, whether you're obese or you're anorexic. It's still a mind thing at the end of the day. But, you gotta, I know it's hard, but it's like, how long can you make things an excuse? At some point, you gotta have some kind of light bulb in your head to want to change, there's success stories too.
Definitely.
We talk about the negative, but you can flip it and have the positive too.
There's success stories, because we see it in person, we see it on social media, where we see TV, whatever, the before and afters, and there's a lot of truth to those before and afters. We have a guest that we had on our show before, Melissa Bridges, and I follow her on her social media, and she has before and after pictures, and they're amazing. And there's another group that I'm going to probably briefly talk about. This is my first time talking about them, Simply Living Clean. And it's a group, and it's all about healthiness and awareness about educating yourself on your body and your mind and how you can live. And there are things that we're going to need to cut out, and we're going to have to stop using excuses, and that includes myself.
Even me.
I can't speak about it if I'm not experiencing it.
Yeah.
We need to stop saying, "Oh, we'll get to it."
No.
"Oh, I'm going to put it down.
Get to it now.
Tomorrow or next week."
No,
you're not You're not promised tomorrow or next week.
You don't know how long you're gonna be on Earth.
You just,
Do it now.
you don't know. So,
I wanted to say one more thing to add to what you were saying. I mean, I wasn't even trying to look at it, but it was just there. You know, I'm at work and look on the TV, the Steve Harvey show, right? And they had the success stories of obese people. It was like, I think it was 5 or 6 people. They shared their stories on his show. You know, where they was at, you know, where they started from, and from that gave them the motivation to better themselves, not making excuses, to now better results and where they're at this point in their life. And I just thought it was amazing to me, because it's like, wow, they actually took so much time out their life to want to lose weight, and they did it. And in my mind, I'm saying, now see, they're not making any damn excuses as why they're big. They don't need no pity party. You know, people want, some of these people want folks to feel sorry for them. Like, and these are people that actually had gland problems and all that. Because I know people won't throw that into, well, I have a gland problem, so I can't lose it. There's no excuse, because they had the same problems as well. But they didn't let that stop them, because they knew that the long term of them being so big can do to their life. Because like you said, we're not promised tomorrow. They could have been dead with so much weight they had on them. So I was definitely proud of that. Like, they really put their time, energy, mental effort, everything into being more healthy, and I can appreciate that, and I respect it. So yeah, I just wanted to add that in there.
I mean, it's very important. We're at an age. It's now that we need to take care of ourselves, because people are transitioning at a younger age. It's not all about the older folks passing away. There's a lot of younger people.
There's no limit on
or
age.
Millennials. There's no age restriction.
No, there's no limit on age.
No limit on age.
Not in these times we living in.
No. And of course we know that's the worst case scenario. But again, there's all these different diseases that's at a high right now. And I just think that a lot of time getting vaccinated and these medications are not the way to go anymore. Yes, if you want to eat better, it's going to cost you. If you want to live better, it's going to cost you. Going out to the fast food places and eating out all the time not only is taxing on your body physically and emotionally, but financially.
I think it's an instant thing.
I think it's okay to go out. I think it's okay to go out. But, eating out every day, and I have to speak this for myself, eating out every day is not good for you. You don't know what they're putting in the food.
Or the food.
The food. And you definitely don't know what they're putting in those vaccines.
That food, you don't know what they're putting in it.
You don't know.
Not know.
And
but people are it's like I said, it's conditioned. People are accustomed to that. It's like, it's an instant thing. They can get to it. Plus, it's a lot more cheaper.
Let me get me some of them chicken nuggets from McDonald's, that fish sandwich, and them hamburgers and them fries, and you don't know if they dropped it or not. Little story, and I'm not saying all McDonald's is like that, because you have some clean ones. But I'm trying to tell you, once upon a time, yes, I have several stories. Once upon a time, I worked in McDonald's for a hot minute because I needed some money. But what I seen in there and how dirty it was, and employees dropping food and shaking it off and putting it on the hamburgers and then selling it to the customers. Please, please don't think they didn't do it and still don't do it till today.
They still do it. Yes, they do.
There's so many places, there's so many restaurants that should be closed, but of course we know that they pay them what them people? Them inspectors.
Oh yeah.
They pay them off so they can say that they establishment passed.
It's up to the
It happens.
Right.
It happens.
What is it? It ended like a number of score. They had to have a certain.
You have
score.
to have like a 90 and above is an A. I think 89 to about probably 85 is a B, and below that C's and D's and F's. But even with that, even if they do get an A, I'd be up in my head. I'd be like, okay, sound good, look good, but does that mean are they really? Is their establishment really an A? I mean, is it? So it's so much better if we can make meals at home. And again, your choice if you want to eat out or not. I'm not saying don't eat out. I think it's okay to eat out. Again, I'm just all about doing your research.
Right.
That's me. Doing your research, asking questions. Who cares if you get on doctor's nerves? So what? That's your body. They don't give a damn about it. Not for real. Not majority. It's your body.
Right.
When it's gone, that's it.
Right. You should have the most concern of your own.
Right. Take care of your temple, head to toe.
Somebody else.
Absolutely.
Who cares what anybody thinks? You the one in the body, not them.
Right.
Because the tail was turned, they will feel the same way. So, take control. It's your life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So with that, I wanted to also introduce something that I had the great privilege of being a part of a group, and it's called Simple Clean Results. It is a non-GMO, and I have done my research. It is a non-GMO, clean, living and eating clean, natural company that I wanted to associate myself with. And, I've expressed several times on the show that, I have different mental disorders. And I also have expressed that, I'm diabetic, type 2 diabetic, and hypertension, which is high blood pressure, some cholesterol issues, blah, blah, blah. But I'm on this journey, and I know that I have to stay consistent with it for myself, if no one else, but I have to stay consistent with it. But I just kind of wanted you guys to know that it's some awesome people in there, awesome women. I've met about 2 awesome women that I've had the pleasure of just kind of keeping in contact with and asking lots of questions, and they don't mind showing me. If you don't believe me, take a look, and they back it up. And I've seen awesome real stories, not them put on ones trying to get people to buy anything
or gain followers or
right.
get attention.
But
like
it's just authentic and genuine to me. And I'm one of those. I'm a Pisces, so I'm very intuitive. So
you might be off at times.
There are times that I am off. I'm not always right. I'm definitely not. Shut up.
I had to pick
Shut up. I'm not always
She's
right.
just the intuition expert.
But when the antennas go up, they up. Okay, be it good or bad. So I would like to invite individuals to not only join our Facebook Chit Chat Chew Show, LLC page, but also join me in this group called Simple Clean Results. Check them out. If you're interested in products, because not only do they have products that are for weight loss goals, they have products for your household in general, okay? And if you're interested, which I hope after researching, you get $10 off your first purchase. Again, you can join in with my page, with our page, Chit Chat Chew Show, LLC, and then I will invite you to their Facebook group, Simple Clean Living. Simple Clean Results. My apologies. So I just want to make sure that I'm speaking correctly. So again, I invite you to, my fault, to just check it out. Invite under me, which is Simple Clean Results. Aisha Brown, and you're going to see Jade. So let's take this journey together.
Why not?
You can't lose anything.
Let's
honestly.
start it. Come on.
Let's start it. So I just want to definitely put that out. I also want to thank Heidi and Marina because they're awesome ladies, and I appreciate them. And we haven't even, known each other for long, but sometimes that's just how it goes sometimes. So, good energy attracts good energy, and so I'm glad about that. So I want to put that out there, and I will be, making sure, like, before we end the show, when we do our shows on Mondays, to let you guys know this. Also, it'll be on, social media. I might even do my own personal one randomly about it, a little bit more inclusive. So just, stay tuned. So I also, did you want to bring up some more about the vaccines? You definitely can.
Well, yeah, I guess so.
I'm just kind of want to look through mines too, like, cause
You got something?
No, go ahead, cause my tablet is,
okay.
Of course, it likes to be in its own mood.
All right, so I have something like, just a few facts about vaccines. Trying to make it seem so great to get vaccines. I mean, it's pro-choice.
Pro-choice, definitely.
If that's what you're into, that's fine. So with that being said, I guess I can, discuss something that has pros with the vaccines here. So a few facts about vaccines. Vaccines eliminated smallpox and polio in the U.S. Vaccines are one of the safest medical interventions we have. People 6 months and older should receive a flu shot every year. People age 65 or older need a one-time shot to help prevent pneumonia. Once you get a vaccine, it also protects others around you from getting that disease. All adults need a booster shot every 10 years to protect against tetanus and diphtheria. Measles and other diseases have been significantly reduced in the U.S. because of vaccines. I don't believe in vaccines. I'm like you. I'd rather go the natural way, and I want to talk about that too. Like I get that there's other ways for vaccines and on a medical standpoint, but when you talk about natural, I mean, there's ways you can heal your body. There's ways to fight off things within your body. Drinking juices. Healthy juices. Drinking water. Having the right diet. So of course, eating correctly. Drinking herbs, taking vitamins. What's some other things that?
I think that's pretty much the big bulk of it. Definitely, your diet is very important. If you choose to take supplements, what right supplements? Oh, hi, Heidi.
Hey, Heidi.
What right supplements to take? Exercising. Because
so many things.
I believe because we've been naturally healing ourselves for as long as forever is forever.
Oh,
we've naturally been doing that.
Exactly, but there's one big piece we left out. This is the miracle to everything. Wow, hold on. It's a fortune to everybody, to a lot of people. Cannabis.
Oh, yes.
How could I have forgot that?
Definitely.
So many success stories with cannabis. Autism, any
epilepsy,
any neurological effects. Cannabis helps with that. Health benefits as well. Can't go wrong with.
And I have to be quite honest. When I lived in California, and right before I was going to get my medical marijuana card, and I had to relocate to Atlanta, I can just say from experience, with my disorder, mentally and physically, it really helped a lot. And it was not about being high for me. It was relief on my mind, my brain, and on my body. So
It helps your mental too.
right, definitely. So cannabis works.
Yes,
Cannabis works for medicinal purposes.
medicinal purposes.
Definitely,
It does
definitely.
a lot of good fortune.
Thanks, Heidi. I'm glad that you found us, and I
Appreciate you.
appreciate you and thank you. And I spoke about Simple Clean
Thank you
results.
for sharing.
So awesome. And I'm going to continue to share. I was a little hesitant. I actually had a little anxiety with it, but I said, forget it. I'm just going to go with it. And so I'm glad that I did. And you're awesome. As I said before, you and Marina. Cool beans with y'all. So appreciate the love and the thumbs up and everything. Yes, definitely. Please share our replay to our show.
Let people know
To
about the show.
About the show that we did speak on National Breastfeeding Awareness Month, and we're talking about the vaccines and stuff. And
which is National Immunization Awareness.
absolutely.
So now this is what we're talking about now.
Right, and of course, like Uno said, that we have our personal views about the vaccines. However, we're not telling people what they should or should not do. We're giving options because everybody's not going to be on the natural kick and healing your body naturally. There are people that are comfortable with
The modern medicine.
with the modern medicines, and that's okay for them. So
Right.
we just like to make people aware that there are options
Yeah.
and to make sure you ask plenty of questions and do your research. That I cannot stress that enough.
Got
And
to.
definitely self-care, I say it every show. Please, people, self-care, the temple from the top of your head to the soles of your feet.
Bottom of your
sure,
feet.
make sure that you take care of yourself for you.
You got
No
to.
man, no woman, no
Can't do
family.
that. Can't do
Take
that.
care of yourself for you. So,
See that finger?
you.
All right, so we finna wrap this up.
Yes, so
Any last words you want to
Excuse
add
me.
to this conversation?
I want to thank Josh and I want to thank Heidi for coming on. I appreciate you guys. Please share. The replay will be available on Chit Chat Chew Show, comma LLC. I'm going to even post it on my personal page. So, and also, again, we're going to share all of the information from where we got our resources from. And just thank you. Continue to support us. We appreciate you guys. Continue making our shows go viral because we appreciate that so much. And we appreciate in advance for the financial contributions that you give to us. We will be posting up. We have sponsor packages for anyone that's interested individually or as a business, so you guys will be able to see that, the information and things of that nature. How you can check us out also is you can go to our Chit Chat Chew radio show. We have that page. We also have, again, the Chit Chat Chew Show, comma LLC, that we do our shows on. We also have a website, which is www.chitchatchewshow.com. Has all of our past guests. It just, has information. We're still building, but there's plenty for you to see. If you want to get on our emailing list or guest list, there's that option as well.
Oh yeah, guest list, absolutely. Maybe some
Again,
information
we have our
concerning our show.
we have our sponsorship packages from, I guess, silver on up
Yeah,
to
gold,
platinum,
silver,
gold.
platinum. Yeah.
What else? We have our soap line that's on there. It's called Swirls. So it's a natural vegetarian vegan based soap. And we have 32 left, I believe, 30 to 32 left. So if you're interested in purchasing our soaps, we have a large bar and we have a small bar, and it has the prices on it. So definitely check us out. Or you can go to Etsy if you didn't want to purchase the soaps via our website. We have an Etsy page as well. We're growing with that as far as the soaps and other accessories and things of that nature. And so I thank you in advance for that. I'm going to let Uno tell you the rest on how you can reach out to us.
All right, so how you can reach out to us? We're on our page now, actually, Facebook. So Chit Chat Chew Show, comma LLC. This is our Facebook page. like it, please. Like our page. Share it too. We have an actual group on Facebook, so Chit Chat Chew Radio Show. Make sure you join us in our group, and we'll add you to the group. You know, so either you want to just join it or inbox, tag, whatever. However you want to communicate with us to let us know that you want to join our group, please do that. We have an Instagram at Chit Chat Chew Show. Make sure you like us on Instagram. We have a YouTube, Chit Chat Chew Show. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you like it too and comment on our videos. We have some great content on there. We have a Vimeo, so make sure you follow us on Vimeo, which is at Chit Chat Chew Show. I'm forgetting anything. Oh, SoundCloud. So everything has recently been updated. So from our previous shows to our current shows, everything is on there. So it's at Chit Chat Chew Show. So make sure you follow us on there. And that wraps it up for all our social media sites.
So we thank you again. Catch our replay. Share it. Make it go viral. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Let's be supportive of each other. We all should be able to be successful together. It should not be any type of hate or ignorance or anything like that. Let's support each other. You know, that's how you get your blessings and your fortunes. Being selfish gets you nowhere. Nowhere at all. Okay? So let's do what we must. Okay? As I always say, take care of yourself. Self-care is ever so important. I will preach it forever. Okay? Self-care. And it took me a long time to recognize that. That's why I say it so much. Self-care. You cannot get enough of self-care. Love your body, protect your body, do your body right from head to toe. And what did you want to say?
You know what I'm about to say.
What did you, I don't know. Wait a minute. It's some saying. I'm always coming up with some saying. Oh, okay. So if you're watching that replay, okay, make sure that you're in a relaxed space. Make sure that you sit back, enjoy a cup of tea, coffee, or wine. Okay?